Distinguished guests, good morning. It's my pleasure to be invited to attend this event. Since 2013, in September and October, our President Xi in Central Asia and Southeast Asia, he proposed the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road Initiative. Up to now, it's already 2 years. Today, I'm willing to take this platform to share with you about over the past 2 years, the work we have done. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you about our plan for the next step. Recently, for the work we have done in the past, we have streamlined them. So about this One Belt, One Road initiative work, we summarized them into 5 ones. The first one is one top-level design. President Xi proposed this One Belt, One Road initiative. After that, based on the requirement of Chinese government, NDRC organized the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Commerce, and other authorities to carry out research for the top-level design. In March this year, during the Boao Forum, authorized by State Council, we made the external release, an announcement about pushing forward the joint construction of the Silk Road Economic Belt and 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, this perspective initiative, so that which mentioned the basic principle, framework, the focus of cooperation mechanism, and China's open attitude and action for this initiative. This is a guideline document for pushing for this initiative. The release of this document symbolizes the top-level design of the has been completed for that initiative. However, here I would like to mention this document is only like the framework and the intentional design. For the specific concrete content, this requires China, during the actual promotion, working together with the countries along the road and the belt for further improvement. This is the first one. The second one is a series of international consensus. One Belt, One Road initiative, after this is proposed, it has aroused great attention from the world. Some countries, they have shown their great interest in joining this initiative. And some other countries, they have shown the strong expectation. Of course, for other countries, they have some puzzles of they're hard for them to understand.
But after the launch of this proposal, the One Belt and One Road has showcased peaceful cooperation, opening, inclusive, and win-win partnership. That's the principles of this initiative. Especially in the implementation of this initiative, we stressed the stakeholding countries. We need to cater for the policies and strategies of respective countries. For instance, the European Asian Alliance proposed by Russia will be catered for. The Kazakhstan Bright Road will also be catered for. The EU Road investment plan will also be catered for. So that means we are engaging with the respective countries and regions for their strategies. So many countries are raising their awareness and understanding for this initiative, and they are actively participating into this initiative. And especially during the Boao Forum, President Xi elaborated on this initiative again. So So the consultation, co-construction, and the sharing principle of this initiative has been well responded by international community. It has reached a very important international consensus from there. That's the the second one. The third one is the One Basket cooperation agreements. So working with a number of countries, China has signed MOUs with many countries. For instance, with Russia, we have Silk Road Belt MOU and Europe-Asia Alliance MOU. We also signed agreement with Hungarian government. And for UFA summit, China, Mongolia, Russia have signed a trilateral MOU on these economic corridors among these three countries. And we also signed a MOU with Kyrgyzstan between two country governments. For Kazakhstan, we also signed a MOU on strengthening productivity and investment. For Tajikistan, we also signed a MOU on the cooperation between the two nations. So government agencies in China are working with Kazakhstan, Qatar, and Kuwait, signing MOUs for One Belt and One Road initiative, among many other countries as well. So they are also in the process of signing MOUs at this moment. So that marks the very good foundation for the next step of implementation of this initiative. That's the third one. The fourth one means a number of projects. We have 5 directions, strategic directions under this initiative, and among which, especially for Central Asia, Southeast Asia, we have a number of major projects under construction. As you see, President Xi is visiting Pakistan, and China has signed projects with Pakistan with an amount of more than $46 billion. So that means a very good process between two nations. The China-Tajikistan Railroad Phase 2 and natural gas pipeline projects are under construction. Moscow to Kazan high-speed rail, China-Laos Railroad, China-Thailand Railroad, Indonesian high-speed rail. Those projects are under construction in a very well manner. And we have a number of industrial parks under construction as well with the neighboring nations. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is a number of systems that support this initiative because it's a very big systematic engineering with a lot of stakeholders and nations. That's why China central government has established a task force to lead the initiative, to organize the works, and reviewing all the policies and plans for this initiative. In India, we established another office to do the routines of this task force. The central government agencies have all established a mechanism for their respective functions to support this One Belt One Road initiative for energy, agriculture, education, ecology, conservation, cultural corporations. Those plans, bylaws are being drafted. And within China, many provinces are taking advantage of this initiative to study how can local regions of China be participated into this initiative. We have 34 provinces in China. 31 out of them have completed their plans in line with the national plan. We have 2 special administration zone, Hong Kong and Macau. They are also highly active in this initiative. I visited Hong Kong in May as well as Macau. So I was here to elaborate on this initiative. Taiwan is also paying a lot of attention to it. I visited Taiwan in August, introducing to them the things going on for this initiative. So we are calling upon that Taiwan should also take this opportunity to accelerate the economic growth of Taiwan. Of our financial system, they are also playing actively in this initiative to support the One Belt One Road project. We have its foundation, Silk Road Foundation, which has been in operation already. The first fund is for a hydropower station in Pakistan. That things has been going on for the past 2 years, and things we've been doing in China, or sometimes we call it 5 ones. And now what's going forward? So we think the top-level design of this initiative has been completed, and with a very good start. The next step means we need to implement in several aspects based on the blueprint we have delineated. The first aspect is to construct 6 international economic corridors and several maritime strategic pivotal points. So with the Belt Initiative proposed by President Xi, it's from Pakistan to Tajikistan. In this summit, there is another proposal President Xi has mentioned. He said we need to have a corridor from Pacific to Baltic, from South Central Asia to Persian Gulf, and from Central Asia to Indian Ocean, to create economic corridors. So for that initiative, he mentioned that according to the directions of the development of the One Belt One Road, we are using the central cities along the line and working with the industrial parks along the line to build up the ocean continental bridge between Asia and Europe, China, Russia, Mongolia, China, Central Asia, China, Middle South Island, and among other 6 economic corridors. For the maritime, we are taking advantage of the major ports to create high security and efficient shipping lines. So to create this initiative, the 6 economic corridors and the maritime pivotal points, it's like building a building. You need beams and columns. That's pretty much the framework of the One Belt One Road we've been talking about. So the international economic corridor and maritime pivot point will be implemented along the way. So there are different countries involved in the corridors. So they have different things going on in each country. So I have to skip some details because you need to cater for different countries to promote this construction of the corridors. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is that we are promoting the 8 major verticals in the cooperation among countries. President Xi, when he proposed the Silk Road Belt, he said the policy communication, infrastructure communication, trade communication, and information communication, and talent communication. So these 5 communications are refined further. We are working on 8 verticals with the countries. First is the infrastructure. Second is the trade. The next one is investment, and then resource development, finance, conservation, culture, and maritime cooperation. That's the 8 focal points. So for these 8 areas, they are not always the same. So there should be a priority in developing those 8 areas. Recently, President Xi had a meeting with the Cambodia and Iran leaders. He said that interconnection and the industrial cooperation should be used to expand the cooperation among the countries. So that's what he said. And actually, that's a good foundation for us, giving us a very good guidance and direction for us to go forward with this initiative. So next thing we are going to focus is infrastructure and industrial cooperation. Infrastructure communication is very important, and is rightly so, as you can understand. So in China, we always say that if you want to make money, you need to build the road in the first place. That's pretty much the Chinese experience for many years. So we had constructed the transportation infrastructure before we can even develop the economy. So the infrastructure on both lands are good in Central Asia and in China, including the East Europe. So the weakness is actually in the hinterland. I visited Turkey last December, attending an international forum. I was there talking about infrastructure communication of the Europe-Asia continent road. I said, technically, it was my first time in Turkey. But I said, in theory, I visited it for the second time. The reason being, last January, I visited Kazakhstan. And I was flying to Turkmenistan from Kyrgyzstan. These 2 countries were close together, but it took me 16 hours to fly from this country to the other country. Along the road, I fly from capital of Kyrgyzstan to Istanbul, Turkey. It took me 6 hours. And I stayed in the airport for another 6 hours. And then I fly to the next destination for another 4 hours. These 2 neighboring countries are not linked together at all. So I have to take a transfer at Turkey. So that means weakness in the infrastructure among the nations. It's not going to be sufficient for us to promote our trade and investment connections going forward. So infrastructure communication will be the key going forward.
And for that, China will have our strengths. Also, I want to share with you with another story. In January last year, when I visited Kazakhstan, I noticed they are the hosting country for World Expo 2016. But when I visited there, they took no action. If it's China who will host this kind of World Expo, we will have preparation long time before, like road construction, venue construction, etc. However, in Kazakhstan, they are very clever. The Congress has made a resolution, that is, they have a legislation for all the project they will hand over to Chinese companies to do. Otherwise, no other enterprise from other countries can achieve this or can complete that. So you can say for infrastructure construction, China will have our unique strengths. So this infrastructure connection will be our one focus. The other one is for industrial investment collaboration. So when we made the research, we have our judgment. China, up to now, we will focus on going global instead of introducing the the things from the outside. Based on the development progress of different countries, 1 year per capita GDP is more than $6,000, then outbound investment will have explosive growth. Based on Chinese data, since 2007, our outbound FDI is growing at 20–30% per year. Last year, the scholar said that was the first year for Chinese outbound investment. Last year, the FDI surpassed $100 billion, reaching $123 billion. And compared with the inbound investment, there was only 5.8 billion difference. I think maybe this year our outbound investment will be more than inbound investment. Now, China, we are at such a moment for that. Chinese companies need to go global. For China and the countries along the Belt and Road Initiative, we have our gap and difference in terms of different stages of development. They need Chinese companies to go global. Due to time limit, actually I have a lot very interesting stories that I would like to share with you, but the time is limited. Anyway, next time we have 2 focal points. One is infrastructure interconnection. Second one is for outbound investment collaboration. Thirdly, we will try to have the core team to construct this One Belt, One Road initiative. This initiative is crossing the Euro-Asia continent. As you know, this continent is also the largest one with the largest population in the world. It involves a lot of countries. They have different status of development and also different attitudes. While we are pushing forward this initiative for its development, yes, initiative is proposed by China. We will mobilize our resources to work for that direction. However, I think based on the willingness of cooperation from different countries, there are real situations, especially their recognition on this initiative will try to develop good partners for constructing this initiative. We will have this project collaboration so that they can become the stakeholders and great support of this initiative. Then they can become our core team for this initiative. Through their role model, then our friends can be further expanded. More and more countries will join this common undertaking. That is the point. Number 4, we need to construct a group of landmark projects. For the key collaborative projects, they are the most direct and important points for pushing for this initiative. That's also the big concern and the attention paid by those countries. It's also important to measure whether there is substantial progress for this initiative. So we want to make it be seen. We have the consensus and proposed some key projects. Then next, we will just push for them carefully. This is the work for the next step. Of course, for China to push for this initiative, this has provided good opportunities for the development of Hong Kong. I believe during this process, Hong Kong enterprises, based on your own features and strengths, you can identify the cutting points where you can be engaged and involved. In a lot of occasions, I have made some analogies. I said, for Chinese painting, we have 2 types. We call it gongbi. That means just using one single line to describe. The other one is to have this imagination, which is showing Chinese philosophy and Chinese culture. Right now, for this One Belt, One Road initiative, especially after we made this action plan and the vision, it's just like the Chinese government. We are just describing or painting such a big pathway, a roadmap that is a major direction, major pathway, major way of collaboration are already published to the world. China, as the initiator, as the participant, we will mobilize all our resources to move towards that direction. Meanwhile, we hope the countries along this One Belt, One Road, through our political communication, through the project guidance, that they can move together with China. Also, we advocate for other countries. So actually for this initiative, it has a lot of business opportunities. So other countries, they can also come here to look for opportunities. Then we can make money together. With the joint efforts of different parties, as time goes on, I believe this big painting made by Chinese government will gradually evolve into a splendid and colorful painting. Thank you.